Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about art fears and your artistic struggles and how you can overcome them. And I also want to share some of my art fears and the things that I find really hard to draw and just in general things that I fear in art. And I really hope that you join me too by letting me know what is your artistic fears in the comment section. What kind of scares you about art? What do you think your weaknesses are? And what do you want to improve on for this year and next year as well? So whilst I'm talking, I'm going to be sketching, and as I've mentioned before, I don't do a lot of sketching, and that is something that I want to improve on. And I want to kind of come up with ideas and try to use less references, or not just use one reference, try to kind of come up with my own sort of poses and positions myself, and just do more like sketches rather than finished pieces. So here you'll see me sketching, and I showed you the final result at the start, and I'm really excited because I'm showing you my drawing process as well. As you know, I don't normally show my sketching process in the actual video because normally it's just a bit boring, but I thought it's really kind of useful for this video and kind of complements what I'm talking about, because as you will see, when I'm sketching, I erase a lot and I make a lot of mistakes and I have to make a lot of corrections. And this is because I'm learning this sort of stuff as well, but it's also to show you guys that even people that you look up to and may think are really good at drawing still make mistakes. You might see the finished kind of result, but you haven't seen everything they've got to do at the start to get to that result. And you'll see at some stages this drawing looks hideous, but it all comes together in the end, and I think it looks really, really pretty, and I was really kind of surprised by it because I didn't use like lots of references. I kind of just went with it and tried to think myself about proportions where things would go without relying on a sort of reference. And I was going for more of an unrealistic sort of style. Like I wasn't trying to do like super realistic proportions. Like I tried to keep everything where it was meant to be, but it's a bit more sort of stylized, and especially with the hair and everything. And so yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these sketches in the future, showing you my process of just sketching it, me erasing it, me making mistakes. And I really want to start a series where I like a practice with me series, where you see me practicing something, practicing working on one of my weaknesses, and you guys can practice on one of your weaknesses as well. And so I'll show you my progression so that you can see that we all have weaknesses, and rather than being afraid of them and kind of just putting them off and not trying to tackle them, it's really important that we try to improve ourselves and actually just face that fear head on and just try to overcome it. So I want to talk a bit more in this video about some things that I really struggle with in art. I really want to be a bit more like vulnerable with you guys and really kind of let you into things that I kind of find hard and my failures rather than just my sort of successes in art. And so I think the top two things that I really find challenging in art is firstly drawing hands. Oh my god, hands are like the devil of art. I don't know how anybody can draw a hand in like different positions and just know how to draw it. Like I have to take photos of my hands to draw it in a certain position. I don't know how people just know how this hand is supposed to work and how all the fingers bend, but that is something I'm determined to work on. I am going to get the hang of hands, and I think that's going to be a whole practice with me video, just drawing different hands and trying to figure out the anatomy of them, because like they're not even like the shapes of fingers aren't even that complicated, so I don't know why they're such a nightmare to draw. But I think now it's become kind of something that I'm so afraid to draw that I'm almost already kind of expecting the failure, so it never normally turns out well because I'm expecting it to look bad, if that makes sense. Do you guys get that? I know a lot of people find hands tricky to draw, so let me know. Do you find them really hard to draw? Like, I find eyes quite easy, and like lips, which if anything should be more difficult because there's so many different structures to them. But yeah, fingers, hands, no. Something that I need to work on and really get better at. And the second thing that I want to improve on is like drawing poses and positions from imagination without reference photos. And even though I really agree with using reference photos and I think it's really important, what I mean is like if I have an idea and like I think about, say, if I want to draw this girl and I know the position that I want it in and I just want to like quickly draw down the idea like a concept sketch just so I have an idea and it looks pretty decent, Like, I can't do that. I feel like I normally need to have that reference photo even to come up with a concept sketch. And I really want to get out of that. I really want to work on anatomy, learn stuff. And this is why I don't make those kind of videos. Like, I have so many of you ask me, can you like do a figure drawing thing and like proportion video, and I can't do it. It would be awful because I use a lot of references and I really want to get away from that. Like, if you give me a reference photo, I can do a really accurate drawing of it, but it's when I have to like visualize how things would move in my head. Like, I find it hard to visualize how all of these different limbs are moving and how they'd bend. And again, I think that's just because I've not really studied it, but is something that I'm going to be working on so that hopefully someday I can do tutorials on this sort of stuff. So I would really like to know, what do you guys struggle with? And I'd really like us to practice and work on these things together. So if you are practicing anything, head over to my Instagram, tag me in it. I'd love to see what you're working on. My Instagram is @Kirsty'sArt. And yeah, I'd really like to see what you are practicing, what you're struggling with, and we can kind of help each other and support each other through getting better at art. And I do think the biggest fear in art is just being afraid of failure. And failure is something that we don't want to do as artists. We don't want people to see our bad art and to see that we aren't always perfect. And so normally we don't post that bad art, or we just like forget it happened and don't really share it. But I think failure is really, really important to improving. And I think even the best artists, they've probably had so many times where they've done something wrong or really bad, but it's probably helped them to become who they are and become the successful artist that they are. And so I think the biggest thing holding us back as artists is our own sort of fears of failure. And if we can get rid of that and just kind of go head on into our weaknesses and the things we need to improve on and actually just try and tackle them, no matter how many times we fail, you're not going to get worse, are you? You're only going to get better. So I mean, you could get worse. No, you're only going to get better if you just keep kind of tackling it, keep trying to improve it, and you will. And like I said, everything takes practice, everything takes time. And there is so many resources online now that it is so much easier to improve because there's so many free online resources that you can use and people that are experts in it telling you like how to improve. So I'm definitely going to be looking at anatomy videos. I'm going to be looking at how to draw hands, lots of how to draw hands videos, and I'm going to be practicing that with you guys. And if you know any really good videos for stuff that I've mentioned, then I'd love to you to tell me the links from, and I'll watch them because I really, really need them. So another thing that I really wanted to work on in this drawing was my inking process. Like, I don't really ink too many drawings because I'm not very good with the fluid lines and just kind of like not starting and stopping like halfway along the line. Normally with like inking lines, you have to do it in like one fluid motion. But I really wanted to try that for this piece, and I was really happy with how it came out. I thought it looked really nice, and that's something that I definitely want to work on with my like sketches, is like inking them in, erasing the pencil, and then like I like doing the markers for the hair. I think that was really nice, and I want to work on doing more like sketches where it's quite quick. Like, this didn't take me too long. If anything, the sketching part was the longest part of this whole drawing. And it's because I wasn't used to drawing hands. Like you can see, I got a sneaky finger in there. I thought, no, I'm going to get some sort of hand in there. Even though most of it's covered up, I tried, and it's a start. But normally I avoid hands at all costs. If I can avoid it, I will. Or I will use a lot of references for it. So yeah, I wanted to improve my inking process. I wanted to try different sort of techniques. Like, I really enjoyed using the gold metallic pen with this and using that sort of light purple marker. I thought that was really cool. I used white charcoal for the highlights. I used a black Faber-Castell Polychromos for the actual shadows, and I used a pencil, a stump to blend with, a bit of white gel pen. So yeah, it was really, really fun, and I want to do a lot more sketches like this in this sort of style. Let me know if you've got any sort of fears that aren't like skill related, and I'll try and make a video on that, because you guys might have fears that are to do with the art career itself rather than actual skills. So maybe you're scared of making it as an artist and all that sort of stuff. So let me know if you want me to do another video on stuff like that. Also guys, if you want prints of this, then that is available on my Etsy store. A link will be in the description if you do want to check that out. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. But if you want to see even more stuff right now, then I've got some over there that you can check out. But I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody!